am here with Ora Houston, who is one of the 9 brave people running for District 1 Austin City Council. Yes. Thank you for being here. When you think about the next 5 years in Austin, what is your highest hope and maybe even your biggest fear when it comes to Austin's future?
My biggest hope is for the city to begin to recognize that there are citizens in the community that have possible solutions to some of the complex issues that we face. I think the difficulty that I see, that I hope does not happen, is that we will go back to business as usual, that it's so easy to slip back into a pattern of behavior that we've always had. And so it's really incumbent upon that expanded city council for us to be very conscious of an opportunity to include more people in the discussions and the decisions prior to any kind of complex ordinance being authorized. So that's my desire, but that's also my fear, is that we will fall back into the old habits.
How would you, as a leader, help prevent that from happening?
Well, I think people have asked over the first 100 days, what do you see as what you would do? And my answer is always that it's critically important that the expanded council begin to form together a culture of how we were going to work together. That may include things like helping people understand what the community values of your particular district might be. It also would include going to the various districts to look at what the issues are in a particular district, in all 10 of the districts, so we know what it is that we have in common and the things that are very unique to a district. So I think that first 100 days will be developing a community environment where we are comfortable with and where we can be truth tellers, but we also have some sensitivity to what's going on in other parts of the city.
Very good. So being a council member from a district, and yet there's this whole big city out there, how do you imagine allocating your time and attention? How much goes to district-specific things and to citywide things?
District 1 is probably, you hear this from everybody, their district is unique. But District 1 is very definitely unique in that we have one of the most diverse districts. We've got, as far as on many matrix, ethnically, culturally, linguistically, we've got economic diversity, we've got educational diversity. So there are a lot of moving parts in District 1. And in order to do that, I've got to pay attention to District 1 issues and city issues, because that's the wonderful thing about 10-1. And that's why I supported it from the beginning, is that if we had had people from a variety of places talking about some of the current issues, we might not be in the situation that we're in. As it was, we had some people who were passionately caring about some issues, and they were the ones that were making the decisions, but a whole lot of people were left out of that. And so 10-1 is an opportunity to bring a collective voice so that we can say, this is really good, and we can do this, and maybe we can massage this, and what do we have in common? So I think that that's the kind of thing that I think will help the city in the long run.
All right. You've answered in your questionnaires your top 3 priorities are water, water, and water. Say more about that and what kind of leadership you want to provide on water.
Well, it's my opinion. And I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. But as I watch the rapid growth in the city, and I see the drought and the depletion of water, and whatever you call that, be it climate change or whatever, it's the new normal for this city. Unfortunately. And the thing is that we have got to come together and say, what can the developers do, working with environmentalists, to do a better job of either kind of stemming the amount of growth in this city, or doing something differently to how we build and where we build and how we build. Those conversations have occurred in silos in the past. So the environmentalists talk to each other, the developers talk to each other, the builders talk to each other, and the rest of us kind of talk with the rest of us.
So do you have any experience in building those kinds of coalitions?
Yes, I think that that's one of the things that I bring to this conversation and to the council is the ability to connect different groups of people who have historically not had that conversation with each other, creating a safe space so that nobody is blamed or negated, but people are able to listen to what the issues are and then able to come to some common solutions. So that's something I look forward to. And I challenge both groups to do that.
Very good. Well, I noticed that you talk more than others about the leading by example, but getting into the neighborhoods and educating people about environmental, behaviors and like how to take advantage of or participate in various Austin Energy and other programs and water programs and stuff like that. How would you do that?
Well, I think it's how do we begin to go outside of our comfort zone and talk to people who have traditionally not been in that group about what are the opportunities and what kind of expectations we have as a community.
Like you compost already.
I compost already. My son, who lives in Washington, D.C., he comes to visit me. He said, "Mother, this is too much work. I have to put this over here, wash this out and put that there, put something in the freezer till Friday." But I think if people understand that that reduces the amount of waste in the landfill, and again, people in District 1, that's an issue for us, is the landfill. And so I think if we did a better job of engaging people in the community, they cannot be engaged in the same way because, again, they're all very diverse. Some people don't even have computers. So we can't just say go to a link and expect people to do that. People are not going to read what's in the electricity bill.
Right.
So we've got to figure out other ways to engage people, and that's my job, is as a sitting city council person, is to engage people in and tell them this is something we need to talk about, you need to know about, and it's going to make us all a better city.
Okay, last question. As an elected official, setting priorities and getting people to follow along is one of your jobs. If you could do one thing in your term of office and you knew you couldn't fail, what would that be?
One thing in my term of office is that I would have a space for people to learn about the history of the city, because I think too often people move to Austin from a variety of places and they bring with them that culture that they had then, and then all of a sudden Austin gets transformed into something that they just left but they now want to create here. There's a rich history in Austin, in all parts of Austin. All the neighborhoods have rich history, and one size doesn't fit all in Austin. So I think if it was one thing that I could do, I would have a space where people could come and listen to the rich history about Austin, how people got to this land, how they are getting pushed out of this same land that they help pay taxes on, and how that is an opportunity for new people to come in and be more respectful of the cultures that had been here. So that's what I would do.
Great. Ora, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Excellent.